There's a squirrel up there. Distracting.
You know, when I came here, I saw a squirrel for the first time, and I thought they were the most beautiful animals in the world with a beautiful tail.
No.
But then
Them things are crazy.
I even posted them a cute picture on Instagram, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
all the
no.
Americans.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Squirrel.
Americans don't like it.
There are good reasons.
They're so cute and adorable and a
no.
beautiful, tail.
I mean, they're cool, I guess. But
They're cool. Okay.
crazy. Anyway.
You go ahead.
Welcome back to the Umuco Podcast YouTube channel with Alexander Anderson and Didinos.
Umunyana Anderson.
Yeah. We are back to talk about another book.
Yes. My favorite book of all time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. One of my favorite books. We previously mentioned this book is called Many Lives, Many Masters. It's by a guy named Dr. Brian Weiss? Weiss?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he wrote this book.
In the 80s.
Yeah,
late
a few
80s.
decades ago.
Yeah.
And it's been resurfacing. It's been printed in all sorts of different languages, and it's very popular for good reason. I really, really enjoyed it. And I feel like it changed my perspective on a lot of different stuff.
Same. That book really changed my life for me. A friend of mine came to work where I worked, and she, we weren't friends yet. She had read my memoir, and then she invited me to lunch with her to just talk about my book and just, thank me for writing it, stuff like that, and to get to know each other. So she came with Many Lives, Many Masters, a copy, and she signed it for me, and then she gave me beautiful flowers, roses, and yellow roses. It was really wonderful. We had lunch, and I remember she was talking about how that my memoir reminded her of Many Lives, Many Masters. Her name is Randy Thomas. She's now my wonderful friend, and she was this is really interesting. She was a patient of Brian.
She was?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, she was.
Wow.
Brian was her therapist in Miami in the late 80s, when he was also seeing Catherine as a patient, but she doesn't know who Catherine is, because
and Catherine is the main
the main
patient in the book.
Yes, the story. Many Lives, Many Masters follows the story of Catherine, who was Brian's interesting and wonderful patient.
Yeah.
So it was a really, I think I was motivated to read it, but then I read it again, and it just really changed the way I see life. And I feel like it made me more of a tolerant person towards I started looking at life completely differently. I don't know. Because I gifted it to you.
You did. And you told me you mentioned the book. Kind of when we first met a few years ago. And sometimes you're not ready to take in information. Circumstantially in life, whatever. But you told me about the book. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure it's a good book. I'll get around to it when I get around to it.
Yes.
And last year I read the book finally. And like you, I feel like it was very transformative. For different reasons, and it's hard to articulate exactly why, but the book covers psychotherapy with this patient, Catherine, and she has all of these issues. I think she's depressed, and she has a host of different things going on with her, and she doesn't understand why.
No.
And so she goes to Brian, and Brian does his thing, and then mid-session, during a hypnotic portion of the session, she starts speaking almost
tongues or spiritually.
Very spiritually and prophetically.
Yes.
And so, and Catherine's hypnotized, and Brian's listening to these words that she's saying. And eventually he comes to realize this is not actually her speaking. This is something speaking through her, some entity.
And it was very interesting too, because he is someone who was not spiritual at all. He's a science guy, you know.
Yes.
He went to Yale. Everything is science and proof and facts and all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, I think it was the first time he had ever experienced things like that.
Yes.
And he was in denial. And I loved his vulnerability throughout the book. How he was like, what's going on? And
and I think this type of book, you know, anybody, again, maybe not anybody, but a lot of people who read it would be skeptical, you know. And because this stuff is very
spiritual, life,
it's very spiritual based, and so not so much scientific fact-based stuff. So it's hard to prove, and thus people have a lot of skepticism, understandably. But like you just said, it's very good for us as the readers to go on this journey with him, because we're all skeptics at first, and then as you continue to read and more things happen, you just kind of have to suspend your disbelief for a moment. Like, wow, this is kind of amazing.
You find out more and more, and the more you read it, the more you kind of learn. And that's I think what I like, what that book taught me. It's always nice to be open to listen, because this life is like an endless river of lessons, and we never know enough.
No,
there's so many things about life that we don't know. So any opportunity you get to learn, and I feel like that's where Brian, with his journey, and Catherine, he ended up getting to that point where he's like, okay, let me do my research, let me read about this, let me learn more. And he would spend days and days in libraries trying to understand Catherine. So he didn't just like block her. He's like, you're not the type of my clients. Go find another therapist.
No, he didn't. He was accepting of it, or at least like he entertained it at first. Like, I don't understand this. Let me try to further understand. Because she starts to say stuff that's like piquing Brian's curiosity,
and she doesn't even remember
stuff. And she doesn't remember. But she's also saying stuff that it's like personal to Brian. And he's curious. It's like, how could she possibly know this?
We're spoiling everything.
I know. I'm really trying not to.
It's just like anything. Very like, it's a book that you wouldn't even be able to tell. Like Rainy didn't tell me much about the book when she gave it to me. I mean, I gave it to you. I didn't know how to explain it.
It is really challenging articulating what this book can do for you, or what it's about, without spoiling it. But honestly, I feel like even if we said everything that happened, it would still kind of be subjective to how people interpret that information and how it relates to them.
And one of the things that motivated me to keep reading it, so many people, adults, like people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, different religions, everyone who saw me reading it, a lot of the people are like, oh my God, you're reading that book? That's my favorite book of all time. And I was like, oh, okay, so I gotta finish this book. So whenever I was like, I don't understand this, there would be someone saying, oh my God, that's an amazing book. And I was like, okay, let me keep going. And I'm so glad, because I read it again, and the second time I remember feeling like it was a completely different book.
You know, I liken it to what's that movie? Doctor Strange.
Yes.
So because Doctor Strange, he, at the beginning he was a surgeon, and he was very like, you know, analytical. He was very like, I need facts, you know, I need, you know, everything like Western medicine, every tangible, provable thing, like a scientist. And then, you know, something happens, he breaks his hands, and then he's like, I need to figure out a way to fix this. And then he goes to, I think, Nepal or something.
It was Nepal.
And then he finds, you know, he finds his answer. And if anybody knows what Doctor Strange is, you know how that goes. But even outside of like the superhero part of it, the more spiritual side of it is very, very close to what this book kind of represents.
You know, when you've been like born into a culture or a society, and you just, that's how you know, that's how life works. That's life for you. That's the world. And with the things you see, the things you touch, the things you hear, that's your world. And then you break out of it for like a second, and you realize you're completely in a different world. And without an open mind or an open heart to get to learn that new world, it will be so scary. So you just move back to whatever,
what you feel safe in.
Felt safe in.
Yeah.
And you just, go there and die there, and without figuring out anything else outside that.
Yeah.
That sounds dark.
No, not really dark, but it's kind of how we live our lives a lot of times.
It is.
We live in the comfort, our bubbles.
Yeah. Because someone once told me that what is the world? This is a very interesting quote. What is the world? The world is me. Mm-hmm. Without your five senses, there's no world. If you can see, you can feel, you can touch, you can hear.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one else. You can
taste, hear, feel.
All of them.
All of them.
Yes. So if you can smell, smell.
Yeah.
Where is the world? Think about it. There's no world.
Yeah.
So the world is me. So it's my perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's when it dawned on me. I was like, yeah, that's how the things you learn can change your world.
Yes. But I don't know. I mean, we could tell you what we feel about it, but what we got from the book
for yourself.
Yeah. What we got from the book may be different from what you get from the book.
Yes.
And for anybody who has read this book, we would love to hear your discussion, discuss about it in the comment section below.
Yeah.
Because it really is a really, really good book.
And it was written like a few decades ago, but I feel like every generation should definitely come in contact with this book.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the world would definitely look different.
I think so.
It takes away fear of life, because I feel like a lot of hatred and divisionism and all the horrible things we see in life, they're caused by fear.
Yeah.
Fear of death, fear of living a horrible life, or fear of whatever being less than. It just gives you that confidence and that love of life.
Yeah.
Everything's happening around you. They just happen. They're not happening to you. They're happening around you. Mm-hmm. And the way we respond to it, that's what really matters. And all the lessons, those the lessons that she was receiving from the masters. Yes.
Yeah.
That we're that was
no spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers. But it's a good book. If you read it with an open mind, you will learn something.
I think so.
At least one thing. You will get one thing new that you didn't have in your life. Mm-hmm. I promise you this. All right, guys. If you like our content or like us, you can, subscribe, comment, give us opinions, comments, all the nice stuff, all the positive stuff,
Like the video, please, if you enjoyed it. If you like our videos, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell.
You're way better than I did that.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I just emulate. I copy what they do.
I'm just winging it.
Comment in the comment section down below. Follow us on our social medias.
Yes.
We are on Patreon. If you want to become our patrons, do that. Well,
we have links.
All the information is down below.
If you want to support our nonprofits, you can go ahead and support Umuco Love.
Tell your friends about us.
Yes.
Tell your friends.
Yes. Yeah.
We're
trying.
We're doing our best.
But we hope we inspire you.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing that we want, is to help make the world a better place for everyone.
That's what we're trying to do,
Yes. So, sending you so much love. And we'll see you soon.
Stay tuned for our next episode.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.